Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Project Hell, episode 3 already. As you can see, my webcam's spazzing out because it's trying to focus, and I've got everything ready here. You can see my lovely heater beside me here. I've got not 100% ready quite yet because I have yet to launch Project Cars and get my scenes correct. No, don't lock the thing over there. P-Cars, please. I've probably gone and crashed Project Cars now, have I? No! Good! Good! That was my fear. So, it does look like Indy cars are coming. I don't know when, but they are. And what I'm going to do straight away is, because I kind of forgot that I need to do this, I'm going to stop the music, because that is just off-putting. Entirely off-putting. Unfortunately. So our first car up today, according to my records, is the Audi R18 TDI, and we are, you can tell I've been faffing about a bit, doing some laps around the Monte Carlo. First car up today is the LMP1 Audi R18 TDI, which I've been having problems with. So, without any further faffing and excuse making, let's get going. Now, I am wearing my gloves because of reasons. Wow, that's tight. I just want to check the tuning setup real quick, just to see if I don't have. Just gonna boost the downforce and hope that helps. In fact, I'm gonna reset the tuning entirely, save that, and go back and just check what the downforce is by default. Oh, that was in fact the default setup. So let's get going. Let's get You can't quite see my force feedback gauge, but that's kind of fine. So I haven't played it all today. Didn't practice last night, so this is kind of my my practice lap, as it were. My god, the car wants to spin. Also, this speed is with like almost max downforce. Could have gotten away with fifth, but I'm just doing a safe outlap so that I can actually get around. I think somebody's going around with a loudhailer campaigning for the election still, which is actually illegal. Okay, so we're going well so far. This is our 6th attempt at the R18 TDI, and this is the less powerful of the two R18s. Because the other R18 has a hybrid engine and big Formula 1 style cars, which isn't exactly helpful. Well, it is helpful in terms of top speed, not so much in terms of handling. Somehow I think the gloves are in fact helping me. Not entirely sure how, but they are. I think it's just that they're giving me a slightly better grip on the wheel. And I do have my foot poised on the brake just for when I'm going to need it to go through what I've dubbed Dirt Rally. I need it to brake coming up here. Otherwise I just wouldn't make the corner. Now this corner I can make flat, lovely. I think damage might have turned itself back on as well, because I've been seeing some damage in other cars. But we should be okay as long as we don't like thump a wall somewhere. which as you can see, is extremely likely, considering it's the Nordschleife. Whoa! That's also extremely likely, I guess. That was a failure between the wheel and pedals, really. So if you're in chat, feel free to say hello. I will be checking chat periodically. Not constantly, but periodically. Whoa! Okay, so I need to be careful of that jump. That's good to know, I guess. These bumps are not at all helpful to get around the track because they unsettle the car something horrible. So if some random chat messages pop up whenever somebody says hello in chat, it's because I didn't clear chat today. I was in a bit of a rush to get started. So that could be fun. You could see some messages from the end of yesterday's stream. And wow, I've wasted a good bit of the tires already. So 300 kilometers an hour, roughly 180 miles an hour down the straight. 290 through this. Whoa! Exactly how wrecked is the car right now? This is with actual damage turned off, so the car would be actually undrivable. Well, I've just got cut track, so all lap times are invalidated, so I might as well just go back to the pits like this. Because that resets the cut track issue. I'm hoping it doesn't accidentally make me cheat. Just want to check. Not working. Okay, so this is an invalid lap. The gloves seem to be proving actually a hindrance. So So let's go with what I'm used to. So I can take this corner in 5th. Just a bit of a drift coming out of it. Open to 6th to get up through here. We can in theory take this corner coming up in 6th, but I'm going to knock it down to 5th. Just because we're going to be braking here. Didn't brake early enough. So down through here we're just accelerating all the way. There's going to be a double right at the end of this, or double left even. I do mix up right and left occasionally. So here we go. Oh, sorry, wrong ones. So we want to be in 3rd gear for this part of the chicane. Down to 2nd for the final part here. That was terrible. This is where we're accelerating up to the double left. So accelerate, 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 and then down to 4th real quick. I like 2nd for this corner, and you can just accelerate straight out of it. You can hit 2nd at this one, 3rd is a bit more stable. 4th. Ease it through the 1st one, down to 3rd again for this long triple apex right-hander. Back up to 4th. Down to 2nd for this hairpin. You can hit 1st, but again 2nd is a bit more stable, I say, as I spin the back of the car out. Up to 5th, back down to 3rd for this corner here. Could probably get away with 2nd or 4th. This one is most definitely 2nd gear. And the entire trick about this track, the entire trick of the Nurburgring, is just keeping the car happy. And this is one of the nicer cars to drive, I think. Except when it decides to do that. We do seem to still have the nose. Just. Yeah, we've just about got the nose still on it. I don't think there's aerodynamic issues if you do lose the nose or whatever. I think I've got that kind of damage turned off. Let's aha! So I want to just feather the throttle a bit through Dirt Rally. And then just slam on the brakes for this. Oh, this thing has traction control. I did not know that. Whoops. Don't you check when you're in one of the really tight areas. Nobody in chat, but don't check it anyway. A quick reminder that if you do want to chat, say hello, and I will try to reply as soon as I can. Sometimes I do forget. So this is now officially attempt number 7. Not this lap, but the upcoming one. I think the issue I'm having is the suspension is too stiff. That does seem to be the major issue because it's unsettled by all sorts of bumps. And I had no right to save that. Way wide there. So here you actually do want to go wide. Because you can grab the lip and it'll pull the car around. Whoa! Good lord, this thing's just being kicked by every bump on the track. driven the Formula 1 car around here, it wasn't kicked as much by the bumps. This is going to be a fun lap. This is going to be a really fun lap. Everything is working, which is good. I'm a bit tired, which is not. Didn't particularly sleep well last night, which mildly disadvantageous to... whoa! Okay. So I need to start braking before I hit that point. Terrible first corner. Turn 2, good. Turn 3, just lay off the throttle a bit. 4 and 5. I don't know the names, so I'm just numbering them. 6, 7, and 8. 9. 10. We've got about 1/8 of all of the corners gone. Don't think this counts as one, it's more of a kink. Here's turn 11, which is a double apex right-hander. And some more kinks. Turn 12 is a bit of a kink up here, but in most cars you do brake, so I'm going to call it a kink. Turn 13, here's a quite tough hairpin to brake for, especially in faster cars. So this is one of the faster segments of the track. That leads into one of the more technical segments. That is a really difficult chicane to get through in most cars, because the entire area leading up to it just unbalances the car so much. And even in real life, that's where, if you've ever seen like crash videos from the Nurburgring, that's where the cameras usually are, that chicane. Didn't need to brake there, that was a mistake. Forgot about this hairpin. Managed to get it stopped up in time. So we're going well so far. I haven't checked if this lap is going to be valid yet or not. I'll probably do that on the main straight unless I get a notification telling me it's invalid before then. That's a second gear corner. I should stop trying to take that thing in third gear. I see the main straight. It's actually kind of the back straight, despite the fact that it's only like 3 turns away from the main straight. And the main straight isn't actually straight. Okay, so here we go. That was a bit slow through there, but I prefer slow and safe to quick and dangerous. Really should have taken the car cell in second, but first seemed a bit better for getting a bit of a jump off the corner. Oh, no. Dang it! Not entirely sure I did wrong there as well. I was just too angry at myself to think about it. So close to the end of the lap as well. That's why I take that corner wide. Because if I try and take it tight, it spins the car. Oh, I would have ruined it there as well. Okay, so we're on to attempt number 8. I'm just gonna leave the wheel for a moment. Just leave the car guide itself down the straight more or less. A drink of water. So I found the bump that was throwing me every time, at least. It's through that corner that I just took in fourth. I don't think I ever found that bump before. But every bump is throwing this car out. Every bump. Turned in late to that corner, so that was my bad. Now pretty much flat out until the kink. Just careful to avoid the back deciding to break loose on me. Do the double right there. That was one of the nicer times that I've taken that hairpin. Not the cleanest I've ever taken it, but definitely among the nicer ones. And of course I screwed up. I believe that was Hatzenbach. I think that's Hatzenbach at least. I just threw away a whole bunch of time. But then again, I guess the aim isn't to see which... This is gonna sound silly. The aim of this challenge isn't to see which car is fastest. It's to see if I can do this at all. Because every car in Project Cars handles completely differently from every other car. And to be honest, I'm actually most scared of the Caterhams and the Caterhams and the drift cars. They scare me. The Formula cars I can work around. They're somewhat predictable. The Caterhams, however, they just like spinning up the rear tyres no matter what I do. Especially, oddly enough, the lower powered of the two Caterhams. Because that has worse tyres on it, so it just spins. Just spins its tyres. I mean, I should be able to do it because I got through the aerial atoms, so the caterhams shouldn't be much of an issue. But they do scare me. That was a really good bravery. I don't know the name of the real... Don't know the actual name of that corner. Oh, I took that way too tight. Way too tight. Gonna take this in second this time around. We can actually get more speed through it in second. Not as good bite out of the corner, but we get more more turning grip. I'm just trying to keep the car in the power band right now, so... Taking gears that I usually wouldn't take. Through these corners, because this thing has a really nice power band. And for 90% of it, it's relatively predictable. The issue is I don't know exactly where every bump in the track is, and that's causing issues. I know technically speaking that was a wide line I took. But that's the line that gets me the most grip. And the one that I'm most confident with. I think we're onto a winner here. On the 7th attempt. With the Audi R18 TDI LMP1 non-prototype after 26 minutes in the session today, and probably about an hour or so last week. There's the corner, there's the bump that kept screwing me up. And we have a successful run. At 6 minutes, 16.529 seconds. So I'm just going to write that down in my little book that I've got here. So it's a 6:16.529 after 7 attempts. So we can exit this session. I bring up the webcam, and as per the rules that I've kind of set out for Project Cars and Project Hell, I'm going to hit the play add button while I enter the time. So it was a 16.529 after 7 attempts. And I can tell you right now, we have a new leader in terms of raw lap time. Believe it or not. Despite all of the issues I had with the Audi, that was the fastest lap we've set so far. And people have left because I went to the webcam. Lovely. Thank you, people who left. Probably because I played an ad, people left. So, whoops. Let's get back into the game. And our next car up is the Audi R18. This one, in fact, has more power because of the hybrid system. Whereas, while the R18 TDI had 612 horsepower, the R18 e-tron Quattro has less, 540 horsepower, but a lot more torque at the lower end, especially once I kick the hybrid in, which I plan on avoiding. After that, we get to go for one of my all-time favourite cars, the Audi R8 LMP900. Then the GT3 Audi R8 LMS, the B class road car Audi R8 V10 Plus, VAC mono, which I was scared of, but now I'm not really too much. Then this I'm terrified of. These two cars, the Stanceworks cars, I'm terrified of. And if we have a spectacular run of cars today, we might just get down to the V12 LMR. This I'm looking forward to, the Bentley Speed 8. I'm confident with the Bentley Speed 8, so we're going for the Audi R18 e-tron Quattro. Lovely. I just need to write this down in the book. R18 Quattro E. I don't know what I mean. So this is one that I'm really not looking forward to. This is the This is the badly behaved brother of the e-tron, or the Audi the Audi R18. So I'm just gonna max out downforce. Oh dear. I've just noticed I can't tell if the hybrid system is engaged or not. Because I don't want to engage the hybrid until I really need to. So I'll be engaging the hybrid now. Oh, I can't tell if the hybrid's engaged. Lovely. There's a little display on the steering wheel. I can get through this in 7th at 250 kilometers an hour. Lovely. Now, I know for Le Mans I'd need to retune this thing, but it's perfect for the Nurburgring because we're going to max out 7th gear just about. Here, I'm going to take this in 6th. Eep. I'm trying to avoid using the hybrid as much as I can because I really want to save as much of it as I can for the main straight. Now, the advantage of the hybrid is that I can get up higher speed if I really want to on certain segments of the track. The disadvantage is it it just complicates things at times. Oh, so this is 4th gear in this car. Oh, because this thing has 7 gears and I'm used to 6. I'm used to 5 or 6 gears. Which means this corner is going to be 4th as well. Yes. That actually gives me a much better power band. So this is one of the areas where I definitely want to use all of the turbo. I say turbo, it's hybrid. I have to be very careful with my foot so that I don't press too hard and engage the hybrid down here, because this is one of the areas that I definitely do not want it. It's not going to go over 260, is it? Or the hybrid. Okay, so now I can Go for hybrid boost. This thing is much better behaved than the R18 TDI. This is far better behaved. Would help if I wasn't as greedy. Okay, I could be probably a bit more greedy there. But I'm very greedy with cornering speed. These bumps are not upsetting the car as much. This is going to be a first attempt to pass. The issue is that it's going to be slower than the R18 TDI. Because I got more downforce on it, which means I can't get up to as high a top speed. I'm also not really able to put down full power because that'll kick the curves in. It is a curves. It is a kinetic energy recovery system. As you probably noted from every time I brake, little battery on the dash cam pops up. Oh my god! This thing has quite amazing brakes. And downforce. The kinetic system on this is very, very helpful, as it turns out. There's no DRS or anything, so I'm just kind of driving it flat out. I am tempted, if I fail this lap, to actually lower downforce, because that is holding me back a small bit. However, it does allow me to do nonsense like that. Gives me slightly more cornering speed as well. So I'm not 100% sure. I know, but by default the downforce levels on this are slightly lower than the R18 anyway. So I spotted that the R18 TDI actually needed a 9 downforce, and it was very squirrely. This by default is 8, so I'm thinking 10 is maybe a bit overkill for this. but the e-tron system does actually seem to be helping. I was full on convinced that the e-tron system would be a hindrance. However, I am more than happy to admit being incorrect. And state that the e-tron system in the Audi R18 e-tron Quattro, possibly combined with the four-wheel drive system, makes this a much better car to drive in project cars than the R18 TDI, which is a genuine surprise. We've maxed. We've used all of the ERS we're allowed. We do have limited deployment per lap, and we've maxed it. So we'll be driving around for the rest of this lap with a full battery. Hey Dylan, how are you doing today? No farms in today, I'm afraid. I'll be driving a lot of Audis. This is a day where I challenge myself before I take my 2 chill streams on the weekend. Okay, I can manage that in 6th, lovely. But this is the other side of the channel, is the racing. And the speed. I'm good. Didn't particularly sleep well last night, but that's only a minor hindrance. This is definitely waking me up. This combined with the cup of coffee I had just before I started the stream is most definitely waking me up. What kind of time are we on at the moment? We are on for a 6:30 at the moment, I think. And judging by the overall grip and handling characteristics of this car, this will be a 1 attempt success. Because this thing hasn't even threatened to fall off the road. It has, but not as much as the TDI did. And did I call a 6:20 there? 6 minutes 20 seconds, 0.671. Okay, 6:20.671. So that's what, 4 and a bit seconds slower than the older version, the e-tron, or the TDI even. So I'm going to swap onto webcam. I'm going to do my usual thing and play an ad just while I do this. And this was a 6:20.601 in 1 attempt. Now we get to one of the less... no, I don't want to say less fun. Because I don't think any single car is less fun than any of the others. But it's time for one of the ones that I'm not looking forward to all that much, is the Audi R8 LMP 900 because I happen to know this thing has a lot of horsepower, very little weight, and does not like bumps. This thing doesn't like bumps. And I'm bringing it around the Nurburgring, which is nothing but bumps. And 73 corners along 20.83 kilometers. So you can work out the average speed if you really want to. I'm going to have a drink of water before I start this lap. Yeah. The book is in my way. Oh god, I forgot how. I forgot two things. One, how beautiful this thing sounds. And the second is slightly more important, how touchy it is under acceleration. Especially from low speeds. But this thing has downforce for days. I say that and I drift. I've managed to drift a Le Mans prototype again. Now this doesn't have as good cornering speed as the R18s. Doesn't really get away from the corners as well either. But I'm hoping the top speed will actually help. Not that it matters all that much. I'm kind of hoping to get some good laps in here as well. And I'm sure somebody out there is wondering why I decided to do the outlaps as part of this. The outlaps are so that I can get used to the car. Because I can't practice every car. So I get one lap to practice the car before I'm actually on my hot lap. This thing is actually behaving a lot better than I'd remembered. Because I have driven this a few times. And I was under the impression it would be hell, but it's behaving really nicely. Whoa! I say that and that happens. That was driver error, that spin. I took too much curb. Much more than the car was capable of. Let's see, can I do this? Flat out, nope. Okay, that crash must have been very impressive, so let's actually watch a replay of this crash. So there's my Audi R18, R8, the original R8, which is a beautiful car. I must admit. It's just one of the nicer cars ever created. Little pitot tube on the top for measuring the speed. And these were racing until... oh no, it was the R10s were still racing until fairly recently in the American Le Mans series. So let's see how spectacular this crash actually was. Okay, so that's the first spin. So now we're coming up to Bravery here, the replay. And it's just after this turn here, I believe. Nope, it's this one here, and we just lose the back end. And you can see how steering full lock and it just would not turn. But because I got damage turned off and the engine turned off. Oh god dang it. I can get away with a crash like that. Won't be able to on the main lap, but that's exactly the reason why I do the practice lap. So I can get used to the grip. Get the brakes up to temperature, get the tires up to temperature. And see if I could save stuff like that. So basically if this thing starts spinning, I've got to catch it straight away before it's really evident that the car is spinning. Otherwise it's gone. That's a challenge. Alternatively I can catch it like that. Yeah, I was right when I said this thing doesn't like bumps. So the end of this straight's going to be fun because it's nothing but bumps. What's worse, it seems to dislike bumps the most at high speed, which is where one of the biggest bumps on the track comes. So I'm going to try as a one-off. This is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. As a one-off, I'm going to try taking this section full speed. I can get away with it. Sorry I'm quiet through this section, this is really There's those sections of track that I just need to get right. Let me know in chat. Don't be afraid to say hello, don't be afraid to say anything. I will not bite. Unless you're a spammer, I won't bite. So, how is everybody? I'm kind of amazed at how many paddle shift cars, or well, sequential cars have been coming up in a row. I know the bank of Lotuses that will be coming up later on, a lot later on. They're all manual. They're all stick shift. Who's messaging me on Facebook? My friend Aaron, who I can reply to after this lap. Please stop spamming me, dude. My phone is going mental. So this is actually a really nice, relatively well-behaved car. As long as I don't make a huge mistake, this shouldn't be an issue, this lap. I know this thing can't take corners quite as fast as the newer LMP ones. This used to be LMP1, although it is called LMP 900 because I think that was the rule end of the day. I keep clipping the clutch. If you hear a bang, that's me clipping the clutch with my shoe. Oh, braked. Took that too slow. These corners about right. This thing really likes kicking. Dang it! So I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to pause the game and see what on earth he's been spamming me about on Facebook. Oh. It's important stuff. Do 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 do. Huh. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Sorry, relevant messages for a different project that are actually of importance. But it's giving me a bit more confidence in certain things. So 6th gear on the straight. No more gear changes to make, so let's have a drink of water. Cause hey, why not? I gotta be honest, I'm kind of surprised we're on the 3rd car of the day already. I wasn't expecting to run through cars this quickly. That's just proof that I can't do hill starts in race cars as well as American trucks. So that here is still alive despite that mistake. You guys can still see all my inputs. Throttle is green, brake is red, and clutch is yellow. Oh dear. I've ruined the lap. That's 2 mistakes I made in 1 lap, so hopefully that's all the mistakes done for this car. And the really funny thing is, this car just is on rails 90% of the time. It's the bumps that unsettle it. And me being an idiot and trying to take too much curb because I keep forgetting I'm sat on the left hand side of this car instead of the right. Took too much curb. Too much curb. And probably too much throttle at the same time, which definitely didn't help. That said, this thing does just love going in a straight line, which is actually helpful to counteract quite a few of the mistakes I make. Plus, it just sounds beautiful. Very hard to not like this sound. That damn bump. I'm gonna just reset the car to the pit box and take a quick commercial break and run off to the toilet. So I think I can do this. Yes. I'll put on some music. And I'll be back in a few moments. And I'm back. So what I'm going to do is just stop the music, go onto the scene, and crap. I didn't think this through. Didn't think this through at all. I just want. I really should have done this when I was on the commercial break. Messages everywhere for everything. Nothing there. Nothing there. Good. Just check my emails. Seriously, if you are one of those people that have like 2 to 3 email accounts, you know the pain of being like, oh my god, I need to check all of my email accounts right now. Oh, why did I do this to myself? That's me a lot of the time. So some of you might know, it is General Election Day in Ireland today. And from the accounts that I'm seeing on the news, on Twitter at least, it does appear as if the turnout is rather good. However, there is a minor issue in that I've seen a few predictions of results, a few projections based on poll data, opinion poll data, before the election. And it kind of looks like there's going to be a second general election in Ireland this year. Short of a minor miracle, which would be the two main parties somehow deciding and agreeing to collaborate with each other, or one of the two main parties going into like people call like coalitions of 3 to 4 parties a rainbow coalition. The only two ways those projections have governments made is the two main parties going into bed with each other, which isn't going to happen, or one of the two main parties teaming up with literally everybody else. That's a rainbow coalition. If ever I heard one. And it's going to be interesting. Tomorrow's stream is going to be a bit fun, because I'm going to have some sort of live count going on, not on the stream, but on my own computer, on a corner of the screen somewhere, so that I can see what the election results are like, because that's when the counting starts, is 9 AM tomorrow. Also, why am I like bright red? Is that just a trick of the light? I hope that's just a trick of the light. Because in OBS I look bright red, and then on YouTube I look white. I look ghostly white, which is more correct than. No, I am actually quite red. Using my forehead as an example of myself. I think I'm getting sick. I think I'm starting to come down or something. Oh well. I'm gonna just take 5 minutes, and if you're in chat, now's a good chance to ask me whatever on earth. If there's anything you want to ask me about, absolutely anything, now is your chance in chat. I can see 2 people watching, and I'm sure some of you, like at least one of you, has 3 now watching. I'm sure somebody out there has a question they would like answered, and I will do my best to answer it, because I am a bizarre repository of general knowledge. I like watching quiz shows, and I normally get more right than contestants, as an example. So if you got a question that you want to ask, and you know, even if you know the answer, you want to see you want to test what I know, now is a good time to ask. If you want advice on something, now is a good time to ask, because it wouldn't distract me from driving. So somebody's coming in left because I'm not actually driving. Well done, person who came in and left. It looks like there's a new map coming out on. Yep, there's a new Mapper's Paradise map in progress. Do. Seems to be in reasonably similar vein to Donetsk in terms of 50-50 real and DEM, which is nice. That could give me some ideas. Somebody's confused about soil mod on FSUK. And somebody's got errors, hooray! Trouble with loading up Farm Sim. When I see pickup on Farm Sim to loaf, you all say error files are missing, can anyone help me? That sounds like something that it needs to like re-download the game. By the way, the thing that interested me, I can bring it up here on stream. The thing that interested me was, if I get this scene running correctly, this is a Kickstarter page. This is the Kickstarter page for 7th Sea 2nd edition. Now, what interested me about this is they asked for $30,000. They're after getting $750,000 already, or close to it. And that's interesting because I'm involved with a project that will eventually be going to Kickstarter, and it's it's a role-playing game. That makes it even more interesting. Huh. This sounds completely pointless for me to be interested in or excited over. There are reasons, and I can't go into them right now, but there are reasons that I can say this is good for me personally and projects that I'm involved in. Do I have a Kickstarter page? Oh, I don't have. I do have a Kickstarter page. Or account on Kickstarter at least. Not entirely sure why. I didn't even know this. But that's the thing. So, once I've finished this cigarette, in fact, I can just take that down and get all my stuff back up properly. We can get going on our next attempt. Gonna call this attempt number 3 because I didn't keep count of the other attempts. With this thing. Oh, cold tires. I forgot about cold tires. This thing with cold tires is not happy. Or this thing is not happy when it doesn't have heating tires, as you can probably see there. How badly damaged is it? If this is damaged too badly, I'm just gonna like return to the pits and start over. Because I completely forgot about the cold tire issue. Gonna cruise around in third until I get up to a point where I'm reasonably happy to let it go. We're still spun out. I'm intentionally driving slowly, by the way. I'm putting heat into the brakes, which should, in theory, heat up the tires. And if it doesn't, well, at least I can brake with confidence. So normally I'm at about 300 kilometers an hour through this section. I'm going significantly slower this time. I'm tempted to bring the brake balance backwards a bit because I don't like how hot the front brakes are getting, so I'm going to bring it back to 55% front. That seems to be making the brakes a lot happier. And in fact, does have the brakes a lot happier. Issue is, I'm now locking up the rear brakes. So let's see how well we can do. I know I'm kind of crouched. That's just the way that I drive, I guess. Tires are coming up to temperature now, which means we got light. We've got more grip. Which means we can be a bit more silly with how we throw the car about. I say that it's actually going to be more sensible to throw the car about a bit more. Like that. And that. Okay, so for whatever reason there, the gearbox stopped working. So what happened there was I locked up the rear brakes, which was decidedly bad. Then I missed the carousel, which means I'm so glad this is one of my practice laps. There we go. And I'm just wrecking the car now, aren't I? the love of... Are you serious, game? Okay, let's return to the pits, get a brand new car. Actually, let's return to the pits again, edit the tuning setup. I think I need to get more downforce on this thing. Let's go all the way up to 10. I'm not saying downforce was the issue, but I'm going to blame it on downforce. That was just driver incompetence. Because I forgot this thing has... a habit of spinning the wheels when they're cold. Now the joy, there is an upside of raising the downforce like that. And the upside is we will now have slightly higher cornering speeds and be sucked down to the ground slightly more in corners like this. Downside, however, is we probably won't hit 300 again. Or we can hit damn near 300 again. That's interesting. So all I've essentially done is just given myself more grip. I mean, I've just managed to do something that gives me no downsides. I'm not gonna complain. Oh, I see the downside now. My acceleration's slower. There's more downforce means more drag means less acceleration, which isn't necessarily a downside. Because I've been finding myself coming into these corners a bit faster than I'd like. Seriously, whoever's going around in the car with the loudhailer really needs to stop. That's getting irritating now. I don't know if it's coming through on the stream, but there is periodically a guy driving around town with a loudhailer on top of his car. It is clearly a car driving around town with a loudhailer on top. And I can just hear every so often. And it's really irritating. Can I take this flat out now? Nope! Decidedly not. I hope that's not a canvassing car, because that is actually illegal to do that on polling day. The cutoff for canvassing for election was last night at 7 o'clock. And to be fair, if you're voting today in the Irish general election and you don't know who you're voting for, you probably shouldn't be voting. I know that, you know, you should vote, but if you don't know who to vote for, then you should really have your mind made up at this point. Okay, that time I hit a bump. What I thought was really interesting there, though, was I actually saw the engine turn off and back on again. So the anti-stall kicked in, which shut off the engine. Actually, the engine stalled, so technically it wasn't the anti-stall. And because I managed to straighten the car out again, the engine kicked back in because it wasn't going in the wrong direction. Okay, can I take this big bump flat out? Kind of. I was going to say I'd really be interested in seeing tire temperatures. I can. The highest temperature I'm seeing is 93. If you're wondering what on earth I'm on about, it is the, if you look at the 4 green squares, they're the tires. And the 3 numbers above them are the tire temperatures, so I've actually dropped slightly since, because I've been going on a straight. So the right rear is 86 degrees on the leftmost side and 87 is now 86 all across. But depending on the corner, I really hope they got this tire model actually temperature correct. So if you overheat massively the rear tires, they will just never have enough grip again. Which sounds a bit evil of me to be wanting that, but that is the wanting me to have a realistic sim that isn't iRacing, because I don't really like the pressure that's in iRacing. And Assetto Corsa has a weird has several weird graphical issues that I don't like, so there are reasons that I don't play them as much as Project Cars. That and Project Cars just has more cars. I'm hoping I can get through this lap. So I know that I need to be in 5th for the corner coming up here, Braveheart, or whatever you want to call it, Dirt Rally. This one I need to just stop down to 5th and put the power back on immediately. This one's easy 6th. Second through here. Second through, oh dear. Knocked up the carousel. That's time just thrown away that I'll never get back. I'm finding that late apexing a lot of these corners does actually help with grip. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to do it, but oh, that was horrible. Somebody showed up just in time to see me spin. Hello to the person who showed up just in time to see me spin. Is this lap still good? This lap is still alive. It's going to be about a 6:30 to 6:40 lap. So we are going well. I mean, we have taken 40 minutes to get to this point, but we haven't spent an hour on any cars yet today. So 628.77, 628.77 what? 77.6. So this is the R8 at 900, and this was a 628.776. Lovely. So let's exit that. And instead of updating the Google Doc now, because there is a Google Doc, it is available under the stream. I'm just going to play an ad and get the next car ready. Oh dear. Our next car on the table is the Audi R8 LMS Ultra. This is a GT3 car with 520 horsepower, top speed of 281 kilometers an hour, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.59 seconds, and braking from 100 kilometers to 0 in 1.72. 1,270 kilograms and a lot of torque. Front balance car, which means it might have a tendency of deciding it wants to go backwards a bit. Oh dear. So let's get this loaded into the game. I've just realised that I need to do two things outside of Project Cars. There we go. So this being GT3, it's a paddle shift again. So I haven't had to heel toe yet today. Just shift straight into second here for this. There we go. This is a beautiful sandy car. And it handles mostly well. Doesn't have the downforce of the non-prototypes, but GT3s tend to handle reasonably well. Which means this should be, in theory, especially considering I've just been in the LMPs, it should be a one attempt success. So if you are watching at the moment on the live stream, because this is going to be about as well, if you're watching at the moment on the live stream, feel free to say hello, feel free to ask a question. I may not get to it straight away, but I will most definitely be reading chat throughout. And if there are sections when I go silent, it's because I am concentrating. This thing can be a bit of a handful. It's a lot heavier than the cars I've just been driving. And that can... that can cause me problems. It's also got a much different weight balance to the cars I've just been driving. Which again, problems. Apparently the brakes aren't as good as I thought. That's always nice to know. Okay then. This thing is just... Did I get Cobra? Oh, I never checked my external hard drive last night. I knew I was forgetting something. I knew 100% I'd forgotten something last night. I didn't check my external hard drive at all. Oh, that was... Okay, so I got a bit lost right there. Whoop. That was a lot of wheel spin. That was a whole lot of wheel spin coming into the car side. Check tonight. Easier said than done. I'll probably forget. I'll write it down somewhere in a minute. Mind you, if I do find Cobra and it is still there, that'll be something that I'll only do in video format. Because I find that chat can distract me, and I end up trying to deal with chat instead of... That's why the Nustin story just kind of stopped when I started live streaming. I end up trying to deal with chat more than I do thinking of stories. Oh my god, this thing is... Write it down now. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Get my red marker. Check HDD. Can I see that? I can see that. Make myself a bit more comfortable. And let's actually just reset to the pits, because I'm not entirely happy with this car. TV test is tomorrow. Ooh. Don't think you're looking forward to that. Dude, listen to the forced feedback, you moron. I just realised I wasn't actually dealing with the forced feedback at all. I was just kind of letting the car do its thing and not paying too much attention to the feedback that I'm getting, which is the only way I can tell if the car's behaving or not. Probably take that a bit faster. And that's about as fast as I'm willing to take that. 456 cows to test. I'm pretty sure the lab will hate it too, or the person doing the testing. I mean, they'll be happy to get the money, but as far as I'm aware, TB tests are actually quite complicated to do if they're going to a lab instead of just being tested in the field. I don't know how TB tests are done, but I'd imagine they wouldn't be the easiest thing to do in a lab. Or, well, in the field. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, come on. Dang it. One cow and it's the... yeah, one cow and it's disaster. Can you not, because I don't know how this works. Can you isolate any positives in case it's a situation where it's a false positive? Or would you have to just get rid of the cow straight away? Because false positives is about 5% chance maximum in any given test that a positive is false. There's roughly the same chance of a negative being false. But the false positives are kind of the ones that you need to worry about more, I guess. It could be more, yes, but could you isolate any like, would you be able to isolate any of the animals that are positive for a retest at any point, or will they just have to be got rid of immediately? Because I have no idea how it works, and I'm interested. And I am thinking about all this at like 100 miles an hour. Literally 100 miles an hour in the game. Hey, I had enough speed to keep the engine running. You have to get rid of it. There is no retest process. That seems a bit unfair, to be honest. But then again, but it could be the case. It could be the case that the test is 99.9% infallible, in which case a positive is definitely a positive. I'm gonna have to do some research later on tonight as well. I want to find out how exactly TB testing is done, because if there's no retest process, it has to be DNA testing. They have to be testing for TB DNA. Because if I'm right, the test is not done in the field. There are samples taken, isn't it? Am I correct there, Dylan? That there are samples taken in the field and they're taken away to a lab somewhere, as opposed to, you know, somebody coming in and just testing a cow, whatever way it's done, and saying, oh, this cow has TB, this cow doesn't. There are samples taken off to a lab, because field tests are notoriously unreliable in science. There's no way that can be a reliable test. Write it down. I'm not going to write down research TB testing, because that's something I will look up anyway. So yeah, it is taken. Well, that means it has to be a DNA test. Or... oh! There is a second method by which it is infallible. There are two potential methods they could use. One is... they both take about as long as each other, so I suppose the easier one would be the one that I just thought up. So, what I'd imagine the test exactly is assuming it's a blood test, they take a small sample of blood out of however much they take, and they spread it out on probably blood agar, because that's where TB thrives. And what they do is they just leave it for 24, 48 hours, maybe a week, and see if Mycobacterium tuberculosis grows. And if Mycobacterium tuberculosis grows, that means the cow 100% definitely has TB, and it's an infallible test. The alternate would be to take a sample of blood, try and... It's a lot more complicated, but basically, you add in chemicals that, if tuberculosis is present, it will multiply rapidly, very rapidly, and you can then extract the DNA of both the blood cells and the TB cells, and actually check for specific markers that are only found in the DNA of tuberculosis. That would be the alternate. But that would be far more expensive because you need DNA sequencing for that. So I'd imagine it's just a simple growth plate. You have 1,000+ chickens. What kind of tests did the chicken have to go through? I'm presuming like bird flu, etc. Well, no, that would be silly, wouldn't it? But I'd imagine chickens also have to get specific testing done. And there's like a mandate for test X and test Y to be done on the chickens to make sure that they're fit and healthy and presumably safe for human consumption at the end of the line, or that the eggs are... You have 1,000+ chickens and you can count on them, so there's no testing. Other than like general health checks. That's impressive. And slightly surprising, I must admit. I'm saying this at like 150 miles an hour. That was far too slow. Does anybody know if I'm actually on a live lap at the moment? Because, oh, I turned in late. Lots of tests. Oh. The way you were saying it, it sounded like there was like no testing they had to go through. And they were the most cost-efficient animal to breed. They probably still are because of the whole egg thing. Though, that said, I know dairy herds in the Republic of Ireland are the most profitable herds. The most profitable farms anyway are dairy farms. Or the ones that make the most money, at least. I'm presuming they don't have to release... Well, they would, because they're companies. So they must be the most profitable. I was going to say, I presume they don't have to release financial information, but the farms are private companies. They might not need to, I don't know. This is the kind of nonsense that goes through my head on a near constant basis. You should help, but don't bother. I bet that if you did help, the vet would be open to giving you a discount on the tests. Because it'd mean they'd have to do less work, which means it'd be a bit less time out of their day. Is this a live lap now? I can check. Oh my god, I've been putting in all this effort. Milk has bad prices, yes. However, the dairy farms around here have very high production because the land is perfect for grass. So they can get out into the pastures fairly early in the year. Come out of the pasture fairly late in the year. And a lot of the silage issues that can happen in the winter don't happen around here because the silage yield is very good. That isn't like that. He tried and he got cross. Ah, well, that's his problem then. That's his problem, not yours, so... You're right to just go away and leave him deal with it. I can't believe I just went flat out on a dead lap. Probably try taking that in third at some point. Although it is definitely second gear in road cars. Yeah, it's better to leave him alone if he's going to be like that. You'd think he'd appreciate a helping hand, though. Kind of zoning out at times here, good lord. What car do I drive? I don't. That's why I'm challenging myself to do this. I don't actually drive, I don't have a license. If I did, I'd probably drive a Ford of some description. They're relatively good value for what you get. I don't like BMWs, they're just too over... BMWs and Mercedes are just overpriced for what you get in the car. I've done it again. Like, if money was no object, I'd probably go Aston Martin. Aston Martin DB9 would be quite nice. What age am I? I'm 24. I should learn to drive. I should know how to drive. But, I don't. That's all on me. It's something I'm planning on doing over the course of this year, so I'll be taking random days off. Probably one of the days over the weekend. Damn it! There's the okay, I'm just gonna reset to the pits. Let's see what I can do here. Well, the number one thing I want to do is raise the front downforce to 2, raise the rear to 7.5. Steering ratio's fine. I actually want to try and get a bit more top speed out of this thing. Just to the BMW 44 Transit Toyota Hilux. Apparently FIFA has a new president and his name is Gianni Infantino. Is it one of the old Hiluxes? One of the completely indestructible ones? Where's this dude from? Switzerland. Do 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 do. Oh, he's from the same area as Blatter. He's probably just as corrupt. I've got great faith in politics. Everybody's corrupt and everybody's crooked. Hopefully now that's sorted some of my problems. Old and new. So you got one of each. Did I vote? Not yet. I'll be voting after the stream tonight. I know who I'm voting for and I know why I'm voting for them. Which is kind of important. I'm not supporting anybody just because, oh, they're a member of my favourite political party. Actually, I'm supporting one person just because they're a member of a specific political party. But that's just to avoid a different political party potentially getting power again. Okay, so that is most definitely second gear. You see me in a while. Okay, I'm guessing you're heading off somewhere. I won't be voting till like 7 or 8 o'clock this evening. I'll be following the count tomorrow very closely though. Even though I will be streaming tomorrow, I'll be following the count at the same time though. I'll have some sort of second screen going on. A third screen, I guess. I'll have a screen dedicated somewhere on my desk to specifically following the election count. This thing is just... all four tires are the same pressure. I'm not entirely sure what's wrong with this car. Could just be that my driving style doesn't suit this car because of reasons. Possibly weight balance. One thing's for sure, this car is not getting along well with me. Do I want to try it? Do I want to try it? Do I want to try it? No. That was a good decision. That was a really good decision to not try and take that corner flat out back there. That one's fine on the lift. Lost the back end a bit on that one. Is the issue that I'm trying to brake while turning? The issue could well be that I'm trying to brake while turning. And that's trying to balance the car off. There we go. Okay, so now the plan is to just go flat out for this lap. And not brake while turning. Or turn while braking. Or anything to that effect. Okay, so I've been quiet for quite a while. That is the worst section for me to try and talk through. So, going well so far. We're a minute into the lap now. We're maxed out on speed. I'll be very interested in... Okay, so I accidentally shifted down to third there, which was a bad idea. That, however, was a really nice turn. That was a really nice way to get through there. Now, if you're paying attention, you might notice they're not actually braking 100%. That's because I'm trying not to lock the brakes. I don't think this thing has ABS. I'm kind of surprised at how quiet chat is today. Really surprised by how quiet chat is. Oh, for the love of... Another dead lap. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just for my own sanity, is going to take a quick break. I'm going to play an ad and I'm going to check my emails and have a cigarette because I'm starting to get frustrated, and that's definitely not good for lap time. So I'll swap onto this screen, and now's a good chance for anybody in chat yet again to ask me a question or say something to me that they want to be noticed straight away. Well, relatively straight away. I'm checking stuff at the moment. Somebody's created... Oh my god. Is this a video or is this just a picture? Somebody's created a farm sim cab out of cardboard. That's kind of impressive. They've... Oh, that's beautiful. What does that say? Somebody's made out of like several cardboard boxes a farm sim cockpit that looks like a tractor, and they've used like black bags and stuff. That is genuinely beautiful. And of course the Farm Sim Facebook page is becoming active again because they're trying to sell a any DLC. But that's just me being a bit cynical, I guess. I guess me being very cynical, but you know, that's kind of how I do things. Is I'm cynical. I don't. To be honest, I just don't trust Giants to do anything without it being for money. Unless it's done to a very low quality. I want to go onto the Project Cars web page real quick. So, oh! Have they announced all the cars in the next pack? No. So, in the next pack of DLC, which is going to be releasing in 2 or 3 days, on March 1st, which is Tuesday, the Chevrolet Corvette C7R GTE is going to be released. And it's going to be the US race car pack. Where is the Instagram page? Is that Instagram? That's Flickr. Info. No. Because the Flickr page is just stuff that is already out, by and large. Project Cars is an Instagram page hidden somewhere. I think it's down way down at the bottom down here. Somewhere. Instagram, no. Community? Yes, Instagram. Let's have a look at what's on here. So, coming next is going to be the Dallara IndyCar, which I kind of guessed. And I'm not entirely sure what else. Oh my god, a real NASCAR. An actual NASCAR is coming into Project Cars. I'm still not entirely sure what car is free, coming free during the week. But I'm really looking forward to driving the Dallara DW12 IndyCar around the ring. And NASCAR is going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Oh god, the Caddy ATS VR. Damn it, that thing's impossible to drive. Dang it. The next pack is going to be fun because it's going to add in a load of cars into the C area. Because presumably if they've got rights to the Ford NASCAR, they've also got rights to... Because it looks like the... Where is it? Yeah, they got the Ford Fusion. But I can't see any other NASCAR. So it could just be the Ford Fusion NASCAR. Gen 6. Um, oh my god, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun to try and haul around the ring. Oh dear. What I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna put the BRB screen and just take a minute to calm myself quietly. So I'll be right back. I'm still here. I'm not going to go anywhere. Just gonna put the BRB screen and turn off my mic for a minute. I'm playing ad because I cut myself off. Well done me. So I'm back. I didn't go anywhere. I should have put on music, but I kind of forgot. So I want to talk about something real quick. I'm just gonna open my webcam again and put OBS over here so that it looks like I'm looking at the webcam when in fact I'm looking at OBS. In fact, I put OBS there. So I want to talk about something real quick. Elimination qualifying is going to be a thing in Formula 1. Now, I want to double check the rules of it real quick. New elimination qualifying plan, please. So, Formula 1 is going to have elimination qualifying as of this year. As of the first Grand Prix in Australia in probably March. At some point in a couple of weeks. Qualifying will be as follows in Quali 1 because they're keeping the 3-session thing for commercial channels to run ads, basically. Q1 is going to be 16 minutes. First 7 minutes are going to be flat out qualifying. At 7 minutes, the slowest driver is eliminated from qualifying and that's their grid position done. They're last on the grid. Every 1 minute 30 seconds, so every 90 seconds thereafter, from 7 minutes gone, so 9 minutes remaining, to 0 minutes remaining, there will be an elimination every 90 seconds, so that's 6 extra eliminations, sorting out the slowest 7 positions on the grid. In Q2, which will now have 15 drivers in it, you will get 6 minutes flat out qualification, no eliminations. You're trying to get the fastest time you can. After 6 minutes, P15 on the grid. P15 on the grid is decided. Every 90 seconds thereafter, another car is eliminated. So that's another 6 cars out, leaving 7 drivers, leaving 14 grid spots done and dusted, sorted. So 8 cars instead of the previous top 10 are going into Quali 3. Quali 3 will last 14 minutes after 5 of those. So 5 minutes, flat out Quali. So around Spa, that's like you get a chance to do 1 flying lap. And presumably they allow you to finish whatever lap you're on. The slowest driver is eliminated once again, leaving 7 cars yet again. And after that, every 90 seconds there is going to be an elimination. So pretty much every car gets a lap to improve their time before there's a new elimination, and the final 90 seconds are going to be the final 2 drivers for the front row of the grid. I don't know if I like the system. I'll have to see it in action, but it does seem that it just kind of... It still benefits the fastest cars because they can go out and do, 2 laps in Q1, 2 laps in Q2, and 2 laps in Q3, and they're done. Because that's, the slower cars will have to do more laps, which means they'll burn through more tires, which isn't necessarily going to improve racing because they'll have less tires available, and they're still using the design to destroy tires. Officially they're designed to degrade, and they've been apparently made more unpredictable this year, which is in no way dangerous, having tires when you don't know how much grip is left. Although from what I've heard, they've just made the tires harder and been like, yeah, it'll do. 2017 is kind of the year that I'll decide if I want to watch Formula 1 anymore or not. This is kind of an interim year where I'm not too massively pushed, and I'll watch WEC over Formula 1 every time they clash. Which means no Formula 1. I won't be watching the Azerbaijani Grand Prix, because I'm not going to call that Europe. Because that's in Asia. That's not even on the right continent. I won't be watching that Grand Prix because I'll be too busy watching Le Mans. So, let's hop back into... Oh yeah, I'm already on the right scene. Let's hop back into Project Cars. And let's see if I can tune this thing to be a bit more reliable and predictable. Gonna raise the ride height to 70 millimeters at the front, and 85 at the rear. Actually 80 at the rear. That's an increase of 5 millimeters overall. That'll spring rate, stiffer springs. I want them softish. I want everything kind of soft. Yeah, that'll do. Bump stop. Increase the height sparing. Bottom out. That'll increase the bump stops by 1 millimeter. Slow bumps. Slow bump setting increases oversteer, so for slow bump increases oversteer. So I actually want to increase the fast bump to 13,300 on the front, and 90. No, I'll go another step again. 95,800 on the rear. Slower. So that should reduce oversteer, or in American terms, the loose sensation. In theory, at least. I don't know how this is going to work out in practice. It's a lot tighter. A lot tighter. I like this. Oh, I like these settings now. Although it wasn't in the first half of the lap that I was having issues, it was the second half. Going as fast as you in a class harvester. Can your harvester go up to 270 kilometers an hour? Kind of annoyed because this car is now proving to be a bigger speed bump than I'd expected. I was expecting the road going version of this to be a speed bump, not the GT3. Although I think the tightness I've introduced has helped. That's why your belt jammed up. That's probably true, Killer K. And I'm glad to hear that. I was glad to hear this morning that you enjoy the big farm. That is a very good map. Especially if wow, this thing just likes spinning. Especially if, unlike me, you just like big maps and big equipment. Okay, that was my fault, that was my fault. I clipped the grass and it spun me. It started to and I couldn't save it in time. So that collision was my fault. You didn't know about using the 1 and 2 keys to increase and decrease cruise control? I literally found that out the first day I played Farm Sim 15. Then again, I tend to experiment with games a bit more. So, if this is your first time seeing it, this is Project Cars, and this is a track that most people who know about motor racing will recognise. This is the Nurburgring Nordschleife. The northern loop. The old northern loop of the Nurburgring. Also known as the Green Hell. Which is why this is one of the two reasons I've called this project Hell. One is that it's hellishly difficult to bring every car around here, and it's going to be more difficult come Tuesday when the American DLC, when the American Racers Pack is released. You got it off Steam. I got it off Steam too. But yeah, I kind of liked reading the instruction books for games because there was some really good artwork in them. But now your best bet is to go into the controls and read through that. You only know Donington Park. That's in this game. Donington Park is actually, in fact, in Project Cars. I'm just not using it for this challenge because the Nürburgring is far tougher. Donington Park, if you screw up after a minute, you're down near the end of the lap. Here, if you screw up after a minute, you've screwed up very early. So I tend to make it a note of where I am after about a minute on track. And I can see my current lap time on the Motec dashboard display, which I can cycle through and show. There's two displays. This one is water and oil temperatures. Not entirely sure what the 4.4 whatever is. RPM, speed, ABS positioning, timing and gear. This one gives a lot of the same information as well as fuel loads and whatnot. This readout is a lot more helpful for me, however, as it gives me a lap time, so I can get a good idea of where I am on track and what kind of time I'm setting. And I'm going to be very quiet for the start of this lap because the first part of this lap contains some of the more difficult corners, which is irritating. The tightness is coming back to bite me now. So we're 42 seconds in. Almost a minute in already. And there's the minute. 1 minute into the lap. And I don't think we've even gone through the first timing line. I hate this hairpin. I'm kind of having to ignore chat at times completely because I want to get my apexes and corners just right. Oh, that's much better. Just change the FOV and now I'm getting a much better idea of where the car is on track. Oh, that's much more comfortable. So we're almost 3 minutes into the lap now, which would be a lap at damn near every other track in the game over. But we're not even at the point at which I consider about halfway in the lap. 3 minutes just there. Lap's still alive. So just to go through the rules, because I don't think Killer K was here last time I did this. In fact, I'm 90% sure you weren't. The rules I have are very specific, and they're to suit the game. I have to do one flying lap around the Nurburgring, this circuit. I have to do it in the game mode where I get the... I screwed up that corner so badly. There's a game mode where I can do an out lap, and that's the game mode I use. It's just free practice essentially. And the reason I'm doing an outlap is just so that I can practice the car. Get somewhat used to it. And the flying lap has to be successful. Which is why the total time I've been in this session right now is coming up to an hour. So I've spent about an hour with this car now. And I'm starting to get comfortable with it. Still making mistakes. It was a Jag that Clarkson did 10 minutes in. I've beaten 10 minutes on every lap I've done so far. I haven't got any laps over 10 minutes yet. Don't do the thing. Is the lap still alive? Lap's still alive. I'm expecting this to be a 7 to 8 minute lap. Probably high 7s, low 8s. Just because it is a bit rough. I'm not particularly good with GT3s. And I'm a bit, quite literally, ring rough. I'm probably overdriving it a bit as well. Almost definitely overdriving it. Please don't tell me that has invalidated the lap. It hasn't. Oh, for the love of... This lap is invalid. I've invalidated the lap here. Of all places. Here. Just try... Let's try a red mist lap. Because it is descending. So this next lap might be very quiet. Because when I'm on a red mist lap, when I'm irritated at myself, I either go a lot faster or a lot slower. Although this is going to set me a good reference time. So yeah, I called it right, high 7, low 8, okay. So the time I'm looking for is... I'm going to be circulating until a session best time appears. In the top kind of right hand corner-ish. Top right hand center, I guess. Beside the giant G meter. Any laps that I hit the wall or do something really stupid and it says and I don't get a time for, they don't exist. This is attempt, I'm going to call it attempt 7. It's probably been more attempts, but I'm going to call it 7. And luckily, at least that time, I didn't have to spend a ton of time getting back to the line. what's worse. The next car up is going to be the road-going version of this. The Audi R8 V10 Ultra. I think it's V10 Ultra. I think it's got Ultra at the end of the name. I do know for sure that it's a V10. And the V10 Ultra, or the V10 version of this, the road-going version, I think has a higher top speed. Because GT3 is balance of performance, which means the cars are more or less going to perform the same over the course of a lap, or over the course of a season of GT3 racing. Every car has its own little foibles. I am amazed that I got that stopped in time. There we go. Believe it or not, this thing does have traction control. I'm just overdriving it so much that the traction control isn't working. That was the first time in a while that I've managed to catch a slide there. Because I knew the way I was braking was going to slip. I don't think it even managed to get through force feedback yet that it was slipping. But I could sense it going. That was one of the better times I've taken that corner. World famous carousel. Yep, you can buy it on Steam. I would say it's a good starter racing sim, because the physics are only partially unforgiving. The physics are actually very forgiving. Assetto Corsa is much more realistic in terms of physics. However, it's also much more unforgiving. The thing that I actually really like the most about Project Cars, number one, there's a huge car list. There's a free car coming on Tuesday for Project Cars. I'm not 100% sure what it is. It's £40, but for that you get a bunch of tracks, a bunch of cars. And if you get good quickly, you can just enter some esports events that Project Cars are running in association with ESL, and win like £50, 50 or 60 quid in one go. So you can make your money back pretty quick. But it is a game that's really for a bit of a hardcore car enthusiast who knows their stuff. This lap, if it's still alive, which I think it is. Yes, this lap is heading for a low 7. Depending on how I get through the corners at the end of this straight, this lap is headed for a low 7. I've just broken the hour mark with this car. Project Cars, you need a steering wheel, and you got no. I've heard from people that it's good on Xbox controller as well. I think I've tried a set of course with Xbox controller and it was alright. So 710.485. Whew. After like, okay, I'm gonna give that like 1 attempt, 3 attempts, and 7 attempts again. Lovely. That's the end of the Audi R8 LMS Ultra, and I think we're now on to our final Audi. I'm back, Pedro. I've been back for a few days. Yes. Final Audi. Because we finally got the TDI around in like 2 attempts today. Final Audi of the day, and of this game, so far. Things are good. Is the Audi R8 V10 Plus. Okay, so the R8 V10 Plus. Yeah, this is significantly faster than the LMS Ultra. Oh, God. It's significantly faster than this car and has worse tyres. How are things with you, Pedro? So I'm kind of looking forward to the BAC mono, because at least I know that thing... this thing performs. This thing I'm not so sure about. I'm also not so sure about what kind of gearbox it has.
Go, go, go.
Paddles, lovely. Oh God, road tires. MG Metro can probably get around here in about 15 minutes. All good with you, Pedro. Good to hear. In before this is a first attempt success. Oh, this thing has traction control? It's actually snowing in... It's actually snowing in Cork. Well, it's probably going to snow here later today then. Nuts. Oh God, this thing has no grip. This thing has jelly suspension and crap tires. I mean, jelly suspension is good to get over the bumps, but... Okay, what?
Go, go, go.
What happened there? has to be a glitch. Oh my god! Did what I think happened actually happen? That's what happened. That's what happened. The rear right clipped into the ground. That's what's up. I'm actually going to return to the pit box because I want to see if I can get better tires on this. Soft tires. Soft track tires. Thank you. Oh, I'm not driving around on... Normally I'd stick with the default tires, but no. It wouldn't be the first time I've broken P cars, trust me. That was the game's way of letting me know there were soft track tires available. Oh, so much better. Oh, yes. Oh, semi-slicks, I love you. Street tires are good on slower cars, but this thing is too fast to be even bothering with street tires. Oops. It happened again. What? I think this car might be bugged. It might, in fact, be impossible to do a lap in this car. What the... I'm not sure if it's possible to do a lap in this car. So this is now a testing lap. This has gone from like seeing how fast I can go to seeing if I can go. Okay, that time I dropped it. Is there anti-stall in this? Huh. There's anti-stall in this thing. This is what happens when I get too used to driving race cars. I think. While I've got track tires on this, they're only semi-slicks, whereas I'm used to slicks. And cars with way more downforce than a road car would ever need. I'm intentionally driving the wrong way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this car, just because it literally can't take some corners. I'm going to skip it for now. And what I'll do is I'll do this car first next week. Because I apparently need to practice that car specifically. Because my normal racing line it just will not work. The line that I normally take around a lot of corners it kills the car. As you saw there when I went back up the hill just to see if I could do that even in fifth. So I'm gonna have to do some testing there. A Viper would be amazing to do the track in. What's horrible is the Caterham. Oh. Or apparently this, because I've completely forgotten that this thing has weird gears. Okay. So this thing is one of the few cars that I'm actually going to have to take around in a gear higher than I normally would. An entire gear. Oh, maybe not. I just need to be a bit more cautious with this thing. Because it accelerates really well. But as soon as it gets to a corner, it kind of craps out a bit. Also, I think it just maxes out really early. Yeah. This is top speed. Have you noticed when I was loading it in? This thing is road legal. So the R10, the R8 V10 Plus. Hey again, then. The R8 V10 Plus is the first car that I've actually decided I have to skip because there's some weird bug or glitch going on. And this car now is the BAC Mono. Completely road legal. a bit weird at times when I drop it. But it does like going up through the gears. And I forgot so much last night. I was just kind of in a bit of a funk and weird mood last night that I just completely forgot to do a whole lot. I got distracted as well by Teal'Deer was doing a live stream. He's one of the YouTubers that I do watch. And he's going to be bringing out a video probably over the next couple of weeks that I'm going to be linking to on Twitter and actually actively promoting. Won't be a paid promotion, he won't be paying me a damn thing. But what he discovered in the stream last night, I could link the stream on Twitter, but it's like 4.5 hours and I don't expect anybody to sit through 4.5 hours. But what he came, you know, what he discovered at the end of it, he kind of said, well, this is so big and so distressing that I kind of have to make a video about this. And if you don't know who Teal'Deer is, he's a person who's just against. He doesn't like social justice warriors or extremists of any description, which is fair enough because he's more of an egalitarian, which is how I like to describe myself, even though it's probably not correct. But he was looking through the Twitter Safety Council last night because somebody spotted feminist frequency on it, which is Anita Sarkeesian, which is allegedly journalism. It is a political organisation disguised as journalism. And if I was ever asked to do an interview with Feminist Frequency, I would just tell them, no, I don't do interviews with political entities. But people were complaining because Feminist Frequency was on there. And he was saying they're just on there because they kind of have to be on there because Anita Sarkeesian would go crying sexism otherwise. As it turns out, Feminist Frequency aren't the thing to be scared of. It's an initiative run by the European Commission which actively tries to censor the internet that is a problem. And it wouldn't be as much of a problem if it was just like, oh, this thing that's run by the European Commission and is pro-censorship is on there. But there's a lot of sites that have, there's a lot of other organisations on there that have strong links to the European Commission initiative that he discovered, and that's where the problem lies. This thing is really nice and nimble. I'm probably not showing it off at all well. Okay, I'm gonna just check something. Oh, super soft, beautiful. Beautiful soft tires. I'm really glad that I put it in now. My new concern. Will these tires last a lap? Not the way I drive this thing. But I am fully expecting this car to do a sub 8-minute lap. If I can ever remember how to drive the damn thing. Again, this is kind of the issue that happens when you get used to driving the LMPs and GT3s. Is you get into a road car and then you're like, what the hell is this thing? Because stuff like that happens. Do not spin out on me. How are the tires doing? They're holding up quite well. Tires are holding up good, so I'm glad I changed compounds. Probably could have got away with super softs on the front only, but I prefer to have all 4 tires the same compound. Unless there's a valid need for it, like at Indianapolis, which I am fully expecting to be released alongside the American Race Cars Pack, which is releasing on Tuesday. Will also include at least one IndyCar, the DW12 anyway. I don't know if they'll have the 2015 Aero packs. It'll be the DW12. The Ford Fusion NASCAR. I'm guessing the Chevy NASCAR will also be there, maybe even the Toyota. The Corvette C7 or GTE. And the Cadillac CTS-VR. I think it's a different model, but I know I just call all Cadillac race cars CTSVs. Car seems to be behaving a lot better with the super softs now than it was on the primes. Yeah, new DLC. It's going to be all American race cars. I'm fully expecting Indianapolis Motor Speedway to come out very soon. Because if the DW12 is there, like if there's a modern IndyCar there, they have to release IMS and Daytona as well. If they got a NASCAR, they have to have Daytona. If they got an IndyCar, they have to have Indianapolis. Because it's all well and good having all road tracks at the moment, but I would like to see a couple of ovals. You need an oval if you got an IndyCar and a NASCAR. Both modern models as well. And like there's one of the Lotuses. I took it around the Mojave test track on the big oval there. It literally blew its engine because I wasn't slowing it down. You cannot drive it flat out, which it could easily blow its engine on this straight. And some of the cars, I just love to see how stupid they'd be going around, like Daytona or Indianapolis. Like the Red Bull. Could you imagine the Red Bull going around Daytona? It'd take a while to get up to speed, but once you get it up there, you'd be going like 250 miles an hour around Daytona. This is a live lap. So, let's see. Speed is in kilometers an hour. Because it gives me a much more accurate idea of how fast I'm going. For reference, 100 kilometers an hour is 62 miles an hour, 62 and a half actually. 160 kilometers an hour, whenever you see 160 appear, it is 100 miles an hour, so I've just broken 100 miles an hour there. Every 80 you add onto that thereafter is another 50 miles an hour. So I'm going over 150 now, I believe. No, I can't be going over 150 because the next one's at 320. Don't mind going a bit too slowly through here because it sets me up nicely for this. The steps are alive, yes. I reference miles an hour, I'm talking about like all out top speed, but I'm a lot more used to. There used to be a time where everything had to be miles an hour for me, but now it has to be kilometers an hour or else I'm confused. Because kilometers are just more accurate. Yeah, man. There are some cars, however, on this game that, if you look at the dash, the speeds are actually in miles an hour. I think this is one of them, but I got the dash zoomed out too far. Or I got the camera zoomed in too far to show it. I'll have a check on the big straight. I can zoom out the FOV there. Not all easy go. That was really nice. It's not all easy going. It's not all difficult going. It's just a case of kind of getting my eye in again. I just thought actually if SMS and the guys behind Project Cars put in like Daytona and IMS, it would be absolutely brilliant if they put in the road courses. Because then if you really were a bit insane, you could do the Daytona 24 or bring the Indy cars around for the Indy Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Or even test out the Formula A cars to see how good, to get a reasonable idea of how good modern Formula 1 will be around here, around there. Or GT3s or something. Just kind of nonchalantly braked for that corner and didn't pay much attention. So this looks like it's going to be a second attempt. Victory. Just going to double check. Yep. That is going to be sub 8. Which is what I was going for, sub 8 minutes. Max speed. It's one of the few corners in the entire game where I start having to break 3 corners before. Okay, so that was a 7:37.977. 7:37.977. That was a good lap. And what I'll do real quick is run an ad because it was a successful lap. Get that back up, get back that back up. Get that back up. Okay. So do the stands for 1, 2, 9, 9. So, gonna wait until YouTube says I'm no longer playing an ad. Alright, so actually what time is it? 6:32. I'm going to end the stream here actually. I was going to go on to the 1M, but I don't think I'll get it done within half an hour. And I want to start off next week with the V10 Plus Audi. So if I close down Project Cars, yes, and thank you for that, Project Cars. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. I wasn't kind of planning on doing it here, but this makes the most sense. So thank you all very much for watching. I'm gonna put on some music again because I'm gonna be doing the 5-minute countdown to the end. Thank you all very much for watching. I will see you next time. Until then, stay safe, and I still have no idea what happened to the V10 Ultra. Stay safe, and goodbye. So, as usual, when the timer hits 0, which is covered up by the thing, when the timer there hits 0, the stream will be over, starting 5 minutes from now.